Hello and welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel, your one-stop shop for interviews with the people who make the lively arts live here in St. Louis and beyond. And this time around, I'm talking with Matthew Kerns. He's president and artistic director for the St. Louis Fringe, the organization that brings you the STL Fringe Festival every August and other events all year round. The 2023 Fringe Festival runs August 14th through 20th at various venues in the Grand Center Arts District here in St. Louis, and that includes the .Zac, which you can see right behind me, and it features literally dozens of performers of every conceivable type. But hey, don't take my word for it. Check out this video. So, what can people expect when this thing opens on the 14th of August?
Thanks for having me. Well, in our 12th year, we are super excited because we have just about 42 acts. And those 42 acts are comprised of theater, musical theater, solo performance, poetry, a comedy showcase by local comedians, a country music LP release concert, and so many other things, some performance art, and a new original play called Vestals. So among like so many things, there's a few to start off.
And this is actually kind of quintessentially the Fringe. I mean, I started writing about it way back when it started, and this is what it's always been, really.
This is what it's always been. I mean, if you think about it, the Edinburgh Fringe Fest is our grandfather, right?
Right.
So just about 80 years ago, a group of artists came to the Edinburgh Theatre Festival, and they were told their work wasn't good enough to be in the festival. So they went to the outskirts of that fest, or the Fringe, and they started their own festival. And I promise you that the Edinburgh Theatre Fringe Festival has long since eaten the Edinburgh Theatre Festival. It is massive.
Yeah.
And from there, they spawned all over the country. Well, just 12 years ago, St. Louis decided that we were going to come together in a grassroots effort and create a Fringe Festival. And we did it, like you said. I think originally there were probably 3 to 5 acts for the festival.
It was small.
Yeah, it was small. And it really had a grassroots catch. And I came in year 5. And from there, we've just expanded. And as I said, this year we have 42 thereabouts plus, actually, not minus, acts that are multidisciplinary. And 80 some odd % of those acts this year are local artists wanting to tell their stories.
Okay. Very much in keeping with the whole Fringe concept. I mean, as you said, the Fringe started out because they couldn't get into the Edinburgh Theatre Festival, which was itself an offshoot of the Edinburgh Tattoo, which is the big August event that they have every year. And so this is just it just keeps spreading, doesn't it? I mean, first
and I'm so glad.
Yeah.
You know why? Because here's the thing. We are the keeper of something sacred, which is opportunity for people who don't usually get a place and a space to tell their stories, to have them told, and to celebrate them, and to nurture them to grow on to whatever these artists want them to be. And sometimes at this point, sometimes we're bringing those acts in, sometimes they are randomly chosen, sometimes everybody is granted access like this year, and sometimes we work to develop the work, like this year's late night headline act. The final performance of Midnight Annie is local writer Chris Ondo, and we have worked with Chris for a while now to translate his life, times, and stories into a solo performance on stage that he's going to be premiering here in just a couple weeks.
That's great. And I should tell people, having seen a lot of actually of the Fringe shows in the past, there have been a few clunkers, but mostly they've been really original and entertaining. And I really cannot speak highly enough of it, because the vast majority of what I've seen at past Fringe festivals has been really good stuff.
I always say that the Fringe is full of simple elegance. So there's this simple magic to every performance. There's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of set. There's not a lot of costume. So the artists are so creative in the way that they do everything, that it's simple and it's elegant, and it ends up really focusing in on the work. And that's what the whole thing is about, is getting those voices heard.
Now, this is going to be occurring at multiple venues in Grand Center here in St. Louis, right?
Correct. So we are, behind you is the Dot Zac. That is our primary location. That's the flagship of the festival. Then if you go straight down the street, you will see the High Low, and we are going to be in the Literary Center there. And then if you go right next door, we're going to be in the Marcel, and we're also going to have some acts at the Urban Chestnut Brewery across the street. So we've really worked to make, because we understand that it's August in St. Louis, and yeah, exactly. And if it's any day like the day we're recording today, it's miserable outside. And we wanted to make sure that our footprint was steps within each other, so that you weren't out in the heat too long and you were able to get from one show to the other without running. And really, we've got it down to a science now, and we're really thrilled about those 4 venues being right together like that.
Because you're correct, for people who might not be familiar with the area, all of those venues are really within just like a couple of blocks of each other. So it makes it real easy to get around.
Yep. And it's really great. And we've got some venues offsite too, but these are the primary ones where the bulk of the festival will happen.
Now, the festival, of course, while it's the big deal, that's not the only thing that your organization does now, is it?
We don't. And so in our blossoming as we're getting older, we really have turned into a place where we do multiple programs. So we'll do a holiday event. We're doing something this October as well. We always do something in March, which was right around our kickoff for the fest. We do an event too. And we do a Pride series.
Okay. So people can find out about that at the website.
stlfringe.org.
Yeah, obviously. So what would you like people to take away from this? I mean, if someone's never fringed before, I mean, what should they expect, and what do you think are the big draws for something like this?
So first, the big draws. The big draws are the headline acts this year. So GCPA is a local company, and they're doing a rarely done musical called Bear, a pop opera. And that pop opera is a coming of age musical about high school kids in a Catholic school and all of the ups and downs of their lives. And it's really spectacular. And if you know that company, that youth company does a fantastic job of creating and training. And this is their topmost company doing this work. And get your tickets fast, because they're selling like crazy. Second, I would say Midnight Annie, Chris's life. You'll start to understand how the great chronicler of the LGBTQIA plus community became that human being through his life story. The Oreo Complex is back as our national headline act. We wanted to make sure no more people saw this work, because it is so powerful. Lillian Brown has created a multimedia piece that is really taking on all of the stereotypes that have been ascribed to Black women, and telling the story and her story about what she feels like it is to be a Black woman in modern America today. We also have Katie Bannister coming in to do an original night of poetry. We have an LGBTQIA plus showcase that is headlined by Charlie Myers, the comedian. There's 6 comedians that night. We've got a one night only. This guy's coming in, and this is part of the beauty of Fringe. This person is coming in from Milwaukee for one night, Tuesday night. For Big Dad Energy. It's a comedic piece about being married in your 40s, and who can't talk about that. And yeah,
and we can talk about that. Yes,
yeah, you and me both. And then he's leaving us and going straight to Indianapolis, where he has to be Thursday. Okay. So we've also got national acts on the circuit popping in too. I think the short answer to your question is, expect the unexpected,
Right.
expect things that you've never seen before, people you've never seen before, and stories unlike they've been told anywhere else.
Very good. Yeah. Variety is the spice of the Fringe, basically.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. The Humans of St. Louis, by the way, speaking of that,
Oh, yeah.
started
Yeah.
as an Instagram page, and then it became a book, and now it's going to be on stage live. The Humans of St. Louis stage play is premiering at Fringe this year.
So a lot to choose from on the Fringe this year. It runs from the 14th of August through the 20th. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So obviously, if it's after August 20th, 2023, when you're seeing this, that's over. But if you go to the parent organization, the St. Louis Fringe, go to their webpage, which you will see at the bottom here. They will let you know what's going on the rest of the year, because basically you can fringe all year now.
You can fringe all year. Isn't it great to have a place where you can see new original works all year long?
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Matthew, thanks for taking some time to talk to me. Everybody else, hey, listen, let your friends know about Chuck's Culture Channel out here on the intertubes. You can find out all about this podcast and everything else just by looking at the links. Spread the word, let people know, and go see a play, okay?
Go see a play.
Bye-bye.